Around the SEC, brought to you by Precision Chemical and Equipment. Come check out our selection of Exmark, Yazoo keys, and Dixon zero-turn radius mowers, located 1/2 mile south of Seagan on Airline Highway. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
As we've been talking about the allegations down at Miami, we know that the reach has extended into the Southeastern Conference. 2 first-year Alabama assistants have been accused by that former Miami booster of steering recruits to him in that story published by Yahoo. Now, Yahoo quoted Nevin Shapiro, the booster, as saying that Jeff Stoutland was among the coaches who brought prospects to his home or luxury suite for recruiting pitches. The story also said Joe Pananzino was involved as well. Now, Stoutland is Alabama's current offensive line coach. Pananzino is director of football ops. Alabama, as of right now, is declining comment. Meanwhile, today it was the last of two-a-days at Alabama, and Jeff Stoutland was on the field directing his players. Still unknown if he or Joe Pananzino will suffer any consequences. Probably still too early to tell. What we do know is that an Alabama running back core that looked a little thin going into preseason camp appears to be in better shape now. Blake Sims working more with the running backs and less with the quarterbacks. Still no sign of wide receiver Deron Carter, and Dante Hightower continues to look more comfortable according to reports, practicing with a club on his left hand, waiting for a fracture to heal. Bama's back on the field tonight at 7:30, wrapping up two-a-days.
The Florida Gators.
Well, with the mess unfolding in Miami, it's reached Gainesville as well, providing a connection to the University of Florida. Aubrey Hill, who's Florida's new wide receivers coach and recruiting coordinator, held the same dual role at Miami from 2008 to 2010. Also, 2 current Florida players, wide receiver Andre DeBose and offensive tackle Matt Patchen, are also mentioned in this story as having been recruited by Miami and used through Shapiro. If it comes out that either of those received illegal benefits, they could be facing eligibility issues. We will certainly keep you up to date with that one as well.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
And the third university touched by this Miami scandal is the Georgia Bulldogs, and neither Georgia nor tight end Orson Charles are going to face any NCAA repercussions with regard to Charles's inclusion in that Yahoo Sports report. The university released a brief statement earlier today and said, quote, "The University of Georgia is aware of the article mentioning Orson Charles and has been in communication with the NCAA. There are no issues with UGA or eligibility issues with Orson Charles. UGA will have no further contact regarding this matter." Charles listed among the recruits alleged to have had impermissible contact with that booster, Nevin Shapiro, back in 2008.
The Auburn Tigers.
Finally, we can get away from the Miami story for a moment, but in the offensive line, in the trenches at Auburn, the battle to be Auburn's starting center still ongoing between Reese Dismukes and Blake Burgess. Dismuke's father, Ed, went on a Mobile radio station yesterday and said, "Man, my son's the starter," much to the surprise of Auburn offensive line coach Jeff Grimes, who said, quote, "That'd be news to me." Also on the offensive line, A.J. Green missed more than a week with an undisclosed injury. He returned to practice yesterday. Mike Dyer, meanwhile, missed another practice Tuesday with yet another undisclosed injury. And another guy to keep an eye on is Melvin Ray. You might remember he signed to play football at Alabama in 2008, but later signed a professional baseball contract with the Dodgers. He's now enrolled at Auburn. He's a non-qualifier, so he'll be eligible to walk on for the 2012 season. There you have it. That is Around the SEC.